say definitively that religions are all bullshit.
Welcome to Brainstorm.
We have the explicit tag for a reason.
This is a base level argument to a higher level morality.
I get paid to science?
To science as much as one can science.
What the hell was my point?
Trigger warning. The Brainstorm podcast will criticize your most cherished beliefs. We attack nonsense in all its forms and discuss difficult subjects. If you peddle pseudoscience, supernatural woo, or religious dogma, then this is not your safe place. This is the home of hardcore skepticism.
Giant fucking dick. Not a gold one.
You are.
And welcome to the...
For those listening live or to our patrons, welcome back. For those listening weekly, welcome to the Shift to Reason Radio, the Brainstorm production that tries to educate and inform. We'll take current events and important skeptical topics and try to analyze them critically. Remember that we're on live on Spreaker.com every second Friday, and today is March 31st, 2017. I'm still joined by Angela.
Hi.
Lisa.
Bonjour, bonjour.
Renee.
Hello.
Gumby.
Can you say hi for me, Lisa?
Bonjour, je suis Gumby, je suis stupide.
Hey, pour toi.
And the amazing Dave.
That's right.
All right.
That's right. Dig it.
We're going to skip over Leo's story tonight.
Screw that guy.
Fuck Leo.
He's got a busy week. But let's do one or two woo report anyway.
One or two?
One or two.
One or two. Here comes the woo.
I'm not a scientist, but if I can tell you your science sucks, then your science really sucks.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit. Fuck.
Fuck indeed. I think I say that every time.
Yeah, probably.
You actually do, yeah. That's your natural.
We could just add that to the bumper.
Yeah.
It's just become your thing.
You totally
But
could.
then he'd do it again. He'd be like, fuck it, and he'd be like, fuck
Yeah.
indeed.
Yeah.
Here we go
Indeed.
again.
Exactly. All right, Renee. Is Shaq a flat earther?
Oh, fuck.
Not really. According to one article, he says he is, and then the next article says, no, I'm just fucking yanking your
Trolling,
chain.
basically.
Yeah.
So he was-
Can't he see the actual curve of the horizon?
You know what? I wouldn't doubt that, though.
Yeah,
Having followed him through his NBA
Well, see,
career,
that's just his. I believe
he's fucking
that.
crazy.
Like, I mean, that's just it. Is I read the article and, you know, and then he said, I was just trolling everybody. I'm like, okay, I can kind of believe it. And then the other one, I'll admit I don't know NBA guys at all. But
Kyrie Irving?
yeah.
Kyrie Irving is an idiot.
Yeah, but like, I mean, the thing is, I read this and all I can keep thinking is, why do we keep giving so much, like,
Money?
Attention?
time to people like this? I mean,
Well, Shaq's a doctor, actually.
yeah, and so's Dr. Phil.
No, but he actually
And
has a
doctor-
doctorate. He actually has a doctorate. So he's
So
not,
does Dr. Phil.
He's not an idiot. He's
What
Yeah.
does he have a doctorate in, though?
education. Of some kind of education.
I mean, yeah,
it
that's...
wasn't.
Shaq Fu.
It wasn't an honorary.
enough.
It wasn't an
doctor.
honorary
Oh,
no, he
doctorate?
actually got it.
Well, the thing is regardless, I mean, there's... Maybe he actually earned it. There's also how many of them they pretty much just get coasted through. So because they play the sports ball very good, but you know, but then again, that's just it. Is okay. These guys play sports. They're good at the sports. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But then we give them airtime because they think the Earth is flat. Like, who gives a flat fuck? Like, I mean, ultimately, like, it's just like, yeah. How many celebrities? I mean. How many times have we talked about Gwyneth fucking Paltrow and her crazy ass bullshit ideas?
Yeah.
And the only reason why she's able to spout is because she's rich and famous.
Yeah.
You know,
Because people listen to her.
yeah. For some reason, people listen to like, and it seems to be a trend right now with celebrities and
Celebritards.
Celebritards, yeah.
Celebritards.
This whole idea,
Nice.
this weird idea of being woke as fuck.
That's right.
You know, and everyone's like, you know, well, you know, You just have to research it yourself, and trust your own senses, and then you get flat earther assholes. And it's like,
well, and to take the side,
shoot the ball.
To take the side of uber conservatives for a minute, people that go, I know you're telling me that the Earth is round, but I feel that it's flat, and my feelings are valid. That shit's bullshit. Well, but no, and I encounter this at work with people I consider intelligent, and even Jen will say, "I feel this way." I'm like, "No, you don't. You think this way. Thinking and feeling have to be separate, but you're using them interchangeably."
But then again, they're using that argument of, education has lied to me, so this is what do the research and you'll see it my way.
It's interesting because some of it, like a criticism like education has misinformed me, isn't entirely false.
No, it's not. No.
So there's something to that idea, but then they go off in this way out into outer space which they don't really they don't really think exists.
Well, the problem is that it's the catch-22 of the internet. Is that you have these easy access to vast amount of information, but there's also vast reams of bullshit.
Yeah.
You can find the truth or you can find fucking Alex Jones.
Yeah.
And
there's sites with Alex Jones fucking?
Probably.
4chan.
Yeah.
That's the answer to all the bad things, isn't it?
I need to say one thing about Shaq because
Okay.
I actually think Shaq's hilarious. There was in his old press interviews with people would come talk to him and ask him questions after the game, and he'd always fuck with everybody.
Is that right?
Like this one time, this guy's like, "Did you watch this other team play on TV?" And what do you think? He's like, "I don't watch TV. It rots the brain." And then he walks away.
That's just his reading it. I thought Shaq was trolling.
So he could be trolling,
I believe that. I actually believe that.
That was that one article did say, when I'm serious, you'll know it. But until then, just assume I'm
full of shit.
I'm full of shit. I'm joking.
Yeah.
And
so I could see it. I could see it.
Yeah.
I could give him the benefit of the doubt.
The internet's basically put the world in a position where human arrogance has never reached the level it's at now before. And my ignorance is as good as your knowledge, because I can find 10,000 things that back up my predetermined position.
Bullshit.
Right?
Because that's just it. Here's these guys that are very good at playing sports. And I'm sure they have opinions about other things, and it's valid to have your opinions and whatever else. But when you're interviewing them, why are we giving them the same weight as other things?
Right.
You don't go to Hugh Hefner and ask him about what he thinks about international trade.
Right.
And give it
He's
same.
pretty skilled in international trade.
This is something that I've encountered. I see quite a bit. It's this idea that
world peace, David.
My
World
opinion
peace.
is as good as any experts, right? Okay, so Kyrie Irving, or even if Shaq really did think it, think that the Earth is flat,
or whoever that rapper was we talked about.
That's
that one
true.
night.
Yeah, we talked about a rapper.
Was it Exhibit or no?
No, it wasn't Exhibit. It was some.
Was it 2 Chainz?
Chance the Rapper. That's who it was. I think it was.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But anyway, we talk about these people, and they're famous, and people listen to them. But these are just their opinions. There are experts out there who have studied this shit and know the difference between. They know that the Earth is round,
that's worse.
But autism.
I don't think there's any experts out there studying whether the Earth is round or not.
No, because it's a finalized question. Exactly.
As a scientist, I didn't even know that such a thing exists. It's so beyond.
It's funny because if we go back 20-some years, we actually had a friend who decided he didn't believe the Earth was round.
Well,
because he said, "Prove it."
Yeah,
and we were like, "Well, here's evidence." He's like, "No,
I don't
prove it.
I don't accept that."
It's believing celebrities who don't have expertise in a certain field, but make a comment on it is just like people saying anecdotally, well, I tried this homeopathic medicine and it made me feel better.
Yeah.
so it has to work. But
I was sick, and
but
then I
we
recovered.
do it all the time. Like Kate Hudson shoots her mouth off about whatever,
Yeah.
smart water or whatever,
Definitely.
but the difference is like even us, like we're guilty of it, but
sure,
we try to take a proactive approach where we actually try to do some research and studying on it.
I think ultimately though, like at some point we do have to accept the consensus of experts.
No.
And
I think that's
it's one of those things where it's like, there's certain things you can kind of go, okay, your opinion matters, and that's interesting. But when they talk about flat Earth, you're just like, what the fuck?
Opinions don't matter.
Yeah.
But
it's like that cartoon I saw on Facebook one time. It's like the flat earthers' view of how dinosaurs became extinct. Shows the flat Earth and then this asteroid flinging all the dinosaurs into space.
I think there's some things that are worth like questioning the quote unquote experts.
Right.
This is not one of them.
No.
I love the Flat Earthers Global Union or whatever it is. Just take a minute. Just take a minute to absorb that. The Flat Earthers Global.
I mean, they could be a
Union.
flat solar system, because that's actually a thing. Like we think that solar systems form in disks; they don't form in balls. All the planets in the solar system are on the same disk. Or you could do like a flat galaxy thing, because a spiral galaxy. Like that would be cool.
Yeah.
Why don't they do that? Because that's like supported by models and observations.
I just like the global part.
That could actually be incorporated into real science.
I am a flat solar systemer. And
Let's start that.
Flat spiral galaxy, but I'm not a flat elliptical galaxy because they are not flat. They are elliptical.
There you go, folks.
You got to put your foot down sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't think our solar system was flat.
It is flat. Well, it's roughly flat. Yeah.
So the gravitational force of the sun is flat? It's one dimensional?
No, the gravitational force of the sun is isotropic. It goes off equally in all directions. The way that gas tends to form is in a disk, an accretion disk around.
But I'm saying anything that enters the gravitational pull of the sun is considered part of our solar system.
But the vast majority of the matter in our solar system is arranged in the disk.
Now, the important question here is, how does Shaq feel about that?
Wait, the Oort cloud is not flat, though. The Oort cloud is a big...
Somebody tweet Shaq real quick.
What is your opinion on...
I love spinning giant black holes. That's my favorite thing about astrophysics.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I did
an
honors thesis on it.
On the spinning ones? Yeah. Like the ones that are probably the portals to
Shaq. Only Shaq's opinion matters.
It was looking at how... was it what observables you would get from a spinning black hole with a magnetic field of a spinning black hole versus a non. That was what my honors thesis was on.
The one thing with what's your hero's name again in astrophysics?
Not NDT.
NDT is the guy
not
I'm
my
thinking
theory,
of. Okay, well,
my hero,
NDT. The one
Neil
thing
deGrasse Tyson.
the one thing I was watching with him was the giant spinning black holes.
Supermassive ones?
Yeah, the supermassive ones. Traveling through those would probably be able to get you into an alternate dimension to Earth, or to our reality, an alternate reality.
NDT said that.
Yeah, he said if there's a way to do it, that's where you would enter into a different...
loud enough.
Yeah, that's loud enough.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We went from saying Shaq might be full of shit to deep talking about how the universe works. This is one weird ass segue.
I'll actually find that.
Yeah, because I think we're playing it a scientific telephone here, where you heard that NDT said something.
No, I watched him say it.
I know, but I'm saying you're relaying what he said, which may be wrong.
Yeah, I didn't hear that he said it. I heard him say it. That's
not even.
They're ignoring them.
I don't need my headphones. I can hear all of it.
Well, yeah, he can't hear the signals.
Can't hear the signals.
Another reason not to wear my headphones.
All right, we're gonna move on though.
Next.
Bullshit.
Right.
Next.
Angela's got a story.
Hey, it's my story. So
good.
apparently Kim Kardashian is recommending things.
Another celebrity.
Suddenly we became the dish.
Yeah, exactly. So apparently, I don't know. I follow a lot of like health and lifestyle websites, and lo and behold, it came up that Kim Kardashian is getting cupping facials.
Right.
she's getting cupping
the fuck
facials
is that?
where they put hot cups on your face.
Okay.
And it's supposed to increase circulation and,
it creates a suction, so then your skin goes into the cup.
So you don't need collagen injections then. And no.
Okay, well, whatever.
It's supposed to turn I guess so. But this lady that works for Shape was like, I think I'm going to totally try it. Because Michael Phelps tried it, and now Kim Kardashian is trying it. Because
lots of Olympic athletes were doing it during the Olympics.
Yeah,
but the funny part is, it's an ancient Chinese secret that the Chinese weren't doing.
Yeah.
Chinese do weird shit too, right? Like they
fucking weird.
Don't they use rhinoceros penises and stuff? Like they are
not on the Olympic team.
No.
But the part of the article talks about it goes back to ancient times. So that makes it automatically way better because it goes back to ancient times.
I tend to get my medical advice from Bronze Age.
Yeah,
cultures. It's always best to talk to people.
And if I want it to rain, I'm going to kill a bunch of people and throw them down a lot of stairs, and then that's going to bring the rain.
Yeah, I always find that pre-germ theory was the best time.
Yeah,
for sure.
People who didn't have penicillin gave the best medical advice.
Absolutely,
yeah, that's right.
So
never underestimate the power of human sacrifice.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you use that as a clip?
I think you found your meme for the week there, buddy.
What's the timestamp, Dave?
Something.
Just go to something and get yes. But it was disconcerting to me that she really, she said her skin had looked plumper, firmer, smoother, and much more radiant. And she noticed a difference. It's just what the fuck?
Just background music, sorry.
Cupping music. But she
it sounds really dirty. It sounds super dirty.
Cupping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then again, her sister is there. There was that. Was her stepsister Kylie Jenner? They were doing the Kylie Jenner lip challenge or something, where they were sticking their lips into a
vacuum.
What?
They stick their lips in them until it sucks.
Yeah, it's so they don't have to do the Botox thing.
That's like a penis pump idea. It's like
right.
Somehow it'll get bigger if you just keep.
Yeah, it does because it's swelling because things are getting broken.
Hey guys, you know what happens if you put a marshmallow inside of a vacuum chamber? It shrivels up. It actually it does. It shrivels up on itself.
All the air out of it.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it actually stays shriveled. Like if you leave it in there for 20 minutes and you pull it out, it stays shriveled.
It's no longer jet puffed.
It's not. It's really cool.
Wow.
You guys should. Our physics teacher did that for us in our first lab back in undergrad.
That is cool.
That's cool.
It is cool.
So speaking of vacuums, I actually saw a really cool thing. If you
I thought you were going to mention.
I thought you were going to segue into the other.
No, this dude has this nice outdoor pond, and he took an aquarium and put it upside down, and then took a shop vac and shoved it up into the air pocket. It pulled water up into the empty part, and actually pond fish and stuff started swimming up top above the water.
Shoved it up in
really
there.
Cool.
The imagery.
Somehow you circled this back to Kim Kardashian's career.
Yep. How she got famous, folks.
I still don't understand why she's famous. I don't think anyone's ever been able to explain it to me. I actually don't understand.
Well, it started when her dad got somebody off.
Can I pull the males in this?
Off.
Can I pull the males in this podcast and the girls if you're into that? But literally, are you into that?
No.
Do you find
I think she doesn't look bad in a bikini, but beyond
Okay.
that, who gives a shit?
I'm not into that.
But there's so
when
many
they said her
beautiful
butt
women out
broke
there.
the internet, I thought it was because her butt hit the internet and it broke.
She's attractive, but there's
lots of beautiful women. And she's
millions and millions.
Like why was her show popular? Why did she get a show? I don't understand.
She had rich, famous parents.
Like her dad defended OJ, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and she had sex on tape with rich, famous people.
It's the
before she was famous. Is that why she got famous?
Yeah,
she got famous
who did she have
because of
sex
the sex
with?
tape.
Ray J.
Ray
some rapper named Ray J, and it went viral. It's the same path that fucking Paris Hilton did.
But nowadays getting
Except
famous
Paris Hilton
is
did
not the same as it used to be.
No, that's true.
That's true.
So-
That's true.
I always found her very confusing as to why she was famous.
She just had sex. She had.
Well, being
sex on
famous
tape.
used to be a door that was held by like companies, like media companies, movie studios,
Well, you had
and
to
then you
be-
had to like get in with them, and then they could make you famous, right?
You were
But
also
now you
famous
no longer
for
do that.
something, though. You
Yeah,
were a
I never
musician. You
got,
were an
like-
actor. You were a writer. You were
what she did. But if she had sex with someone, a B-list rapper, that's
even
That's
that,
something.
even porn famous, you had to be a star in that world.
Mm.
Whereas Kim Kardashian had one tape and now she's worth millions.
But she was rich.
Well, good for her for
and
running
had
for it,
a famous
running with
family
it.
before that.
Yeah, I mean
that
true.
helps.
Yeah, that helps.
Well, she got a fucking book of her own selfies published.
There's how many people follow her on Instagram? Like it's
Interestingly
baffling.
enough,
It's
that is a
baffling.
thing now.
Well, no,
like Instagram famous is a thing.
Yeah.
Kylie Jenner is famous because of her mom.
Yeah.
Isn't Kylie Jenner, what's her name, sister? Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. But Kylie's
sister or half sister?
Half sister.
Half sister. Yeah.
Kylie's really famous because of her mom, and then she launched her makeup and her clothing and whatever, and now she's rich off that.
I'm so confused.
Instagram famous is a thing, though. Like, I mean, people get millions and millions and millions of people following them on Instagram
Yeah,
just because they're attractive people who post a lot.
Yeah.
Whatever. We always used to talk about like the famous Euler equation in math class, and it was always kind of funny. It was like nobody fucking knows the Euler equation except us math nerds, but like it's super famous. Like we'd always talk about that.
But
so.
I mean, that's the thing is you can become famous for
anything.
and then the fact is
Except atheism. You can't be famous as an atheist.
What about Dawkins? He got famous from atheism. It's well known. And what's his face?
Sort of well known.
Hitchens because he was a grade A world class asshole. That's how he became.
But he was really good.
Yeah,
at
but when
it.
you
He
say
was really
famous,
good
when you
at
say
it.
famous, do you mean like household name famous,
right,
or like niche community famous?
Yeah,
You don't think Dawkins is famous?
Nope.
No.
If I talk to him, anybody, I've talked about him with people out of the community. Like I talk about people we interview, and they're like, "Who?"
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, he's like Dawkins. What's a Dawkins?
Who's the most
Does he make
famous
ice cream?
atheist in the world? Like who's
Ricky
famous
Gervais.
for being atheist?
Ricky
Oh
Gervais.
yeah, okay, there you go. But he's not
Definitely.
famous for being an atheist.
No, but he's known as an atheist.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
But
well known.
who's asking Ricky Gervais for his beauty tips? That's the important question.
Nobody.
Although he has lost a lot of weight, and people ask him about that.
Oh, there you go.
He also posts those really weird bathtub videos. where
Well,
he
those
makes
are hilarious, though. He's awesome.
Pendulette's pretty fucking famous too.
And then he
Penn
makes
Jillette
fun
is
of his
pretty
wife
famous.
for
I
having
don't
no
find
friends.
him funny. I don't know. He's just
You
not.
don't like
He's
Ricky
still
Gervais?
famous.
I'm
It depends. Depends for me.
Not a Gervais fan. I like when he has a serious conversation. I
think
like
he's
watching him
really
interviewed about
articulate,
atheism. That's
yeah.
interesting.
His interview with Colbert last time he was on was pretty good.
Yeah.
I just don't like the way he delivers when he's trying to be funny. And
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
in the
find
same
him
boat.
funny, yeah.
Corey and I had this argument before. I'm like, I really don't like Ricky Gervais. He's like, well, you're just wrong.
Yep, that's
I'm
right.
like, nope.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Also,
You are
Bill
just
Maher.
wrong.
I don't find him funny.
I
either.
don't.
Well,
like,
he's a piece of
I
shit.
don't like Bill Maher.
He's a piece of shit.
I think I'm in the minority.
I don't hate. I don't
like
hate
his
Bill
show.
Maher,
He's a
but
piece of shit.
He doesn't.
He goes off the rails a few times. Yeah.
He's done that more than once. Yeah, but I think his show has value in some ways.
I tried
I agree
watching
with
his
that.
stand-up, and I can't do it.
No.
Some of it I really enjoy. Some of it you kind of go,
He's so full of himself. Like, he's such a douchey fuckface. Like I just
It
don't.
really is.
Mike Birbiglia is a good comedian.
Okay,
I like
you
his
just
stuff.
described a good chunk of stand-up comedians. I mean,
No,
Full of themselves?
He doesn't.
Dane fucking Cook.
Worst comedian ever.
Fair enough.
Awful. Not a comedian. No, we're not going to
I
classify
don't
him as a
even know
comedian.
why people ever liked
I
him.
don't know.
I will classify Bill Maher as a comedian. I will not classify Dane Cook as a
Okay,
comedian.
fair enough.
I liked Dane Cook as a comedian. I found it funny.
I like Mercer.
I used
like
to like you,
Mercer.
Anne. Like I used to think.
Yeah.
I know, right? It's
Don't Till I found out you like Dane
How?
Cook.
I don't understand. What's funny about him? Like I'm asking.
How much he sucks.
I don't know.
Yeah, the irony is the only thing that's funny about him. Yes,
I
true.
think for me, there's certain things that I found funny. Just his commentary about regular stuff. I don't know. That's the
because
whole point of
he's like the
fucking
least
comedy.
edgy comedian
She's
ever. Like he's
allowed
just
to have
he's like
things
white bread.
funny.
It's like thinking like what's like Wonder Bread. No, it's just lame. Like
All right, so let's do this.
Okay,
Who's
and
everybody's
then
favorite
everyone's
comedian?
everyone's got
Jim Gaffigan is pretty one
Jim
note.
Gaffigan
I mean,
is one of my number 2 favorite
he
comedians.
talks about food all the time.
Oh,
but
He's so funny.
Everybody has a different sense of humor.
Oh, he's talking
It's just
about
very
sex
personal, right? You
again.
can't really put your finger on why you think one person's funny and another person's a
I enjoy
dink
Eric
piece of shit.
Andre. I don't know if many of you would.
Oh, I never heard of him.
He's ridiculous and kind of offensive, but
I've been enjoying
I'm gonna have
John
to look him
Mulaney
up.
lately. John Mulaney, check him out.
John Mulaney's
Yeah,
fucking
I think
hilarious.
I follow him on Twitter.
funny. The guy that I keep talking about every time we talk about comedians, and I always forget his name, but
Oh yeah, that guy.
Oh, Corey's gonna.
it has no effect. I don't know what button you hit.
This has nothing to do with cupping.
I'm going to just hit you is all.
now there's some good comedy cupping.
What's
That's right.
Fuck,
Cupping.
that website was gross. I couldn't. I was trying to copy and paste it so I could print it out and bring it tonight. And holy shit,
It's just
fucking
terrible.
gross. I couldn't
thoughts and
stomach
prayers.
it.
Yeah, you know, my
comedian, that's
wife
a show,
does
Thoughts
cupping.
and
Jazzlenik.
Yes.
My wife does cupping, and I mean, she knows what I think. I don't have to tell her anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like how it looks. Like it's just kind of like, oh, look, you have these giant bruises on you suddenly.
I think whoever came up with the company was
Magical
like,
healing
all right,
hickeys.
all right, how can I make people look like absolute idiots, make it obvious that they're into stuff that's bullshit, and make money?
For
Like,
the
this person's
record,
fucking
I
brilliant.
love my wife. It's just
Nobody's disputing
Gwyneth
that.
Paltrow
Dave.
is
No one is
following that
disputing
same
that.
business
we just don't
model.
agree on that.
Ali Wong is also really funny. You should check her out.
Yeah, her last special when she was like super
still having
pregnant.
two
Oh my
conversations.
fucking god! It
was that
just about
hilarious?
killed me. I just about died.
I don't like female comedians for the most part. I
He
don't
said
find
after saying he's not a sexist.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't.
Not a sexist,
There's a lot of
but
female comedians who are not funny because they, to me as well, because like they just like. I don't know. They just talk about
And I was
like, all the
saying for the
sex they're
most
having.
part-
I don't know. They're just boring.
I was saying
There's-
for the most part, I don't
Yeah.
find most female comedians
Yeah, but
funny.
Ali
There
Wong's
are
fucking
exceptions. Wong is fucking hilarious,
She's
and
so
she's like one of my favorite actresses too.
Schumer.
Amy
yeah,
Schumer.
Amy Schumer's funny. No,
Her special was good on Netflix.
Was it?
Yeah.
I've heard it's not as good as her show.
I didn't like it.
She was
No?
probably shit faced, but I thought it was pretty funny.
Probably.
She goes into some pretty graphic details about sex, and I laughed pretty hard. It's pretty hilarious.
It wasn't as good as Ali Wong.
I'll have to watch.
She's
I haven't
skinny with
seen
dark
any of
hair,
her stand up.
shoulder like longer than shoulder length. She's all over feminism. Like she's a super.
Oh, are you
feminist.
talking about
Sarah Silverman?
Thank you.
Yeah, Sarah
Oh yeah,
Silverman.
she's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, also,
yes.
And she's. I think because I like raw comedy, and women tend to generally, I'm generalizing, tend to be a lot cleaner and direct with her.
I
comedy.
find the opposite. I find
you're listening to different comedians than I am.
Yeah.
I just watch specials on like Netflix.
Did you
and
watch
stuff.
Garfunkel and Oates? They're
No.
hilarious.
They're
You have to watch
You have to
Garfunkel
watch
and
Garfunkel
Oates.
and Oates. Watch it.
This party just took a turn for the douche.
Their
They
song,
sing
their
and make
song
jokes.
is my ringtone right now.
They're hilarious. No,
Yeah.
you will like it.
But of course, like my two favorite comedians, Jesselneck and the guy you just mentioned before,
Jim Gaffigan.
Huh?
Jim Gaffigan.
Gaffigan.
Gaffigan, yeah.
Those are my
He
two
is fucking
favorite comedians.
awesome. We love Jim Gaffigan.
And they're
Burbiglia's good
so
too.
different.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
I find
Next.
brown people funnier. That's my thing.
Did you see Michael Che?
you mean comedians or
I
just
haven't,
brown
no.
people
Go
in
see
general?
Michael
or-
Che on
see that.
Netflix. Hilarious. He's awesome.
Have you seen the new Dave Chappelle?
I have. You know, parts of it were great. And
Yeah.
then it's like, well, yeah, rape just isn't funny. You know, just like
Is that what- yeah, he was talking about-
rape's just not funny, man.
The funny part was when he was talking about going to see Kevin Hart with his kid. That part I found funny.
Yeah, there's some things that were really good. I think some of it was kind of lazy.
If your dad's ever mad, just wear this.
I haven't listened to it yet, but I did read an article about it having some transphobic
Yeah, it
vibes
does.
to it.
There is, and I think he definitely underestimates like what he's saying.
Right.
Yeah, at moments. But
You know, I like Chris Rock. Like old Chris
Yeah,
Rock.
he's
Like
pretty good.
from-
I do too.
Yeah,
especially. So funny.
I found that special when he was talking. I'm not trying to interrupt. I was just
No, you're not.
sticking with this one.
I'm really off on the deep end.
When he was talking about the rapes, like Bill Cosby and stuff,
Yeah.
But 12 or 13, whatever. I don't think he meant to minimalize rape. I think he was making fun of and parroting how culture and media has been minimizing rape and sexual assault.
Some of it wasn't really worded like that.
I think it was.
I feel like he was. It's just you just don't make jokes about that in that light. Like you don't.
But you can joke about anything if you do it right. Like like Chris Rock. Like when back in the day when Michael Jackson was accused of he was and he was like, you know how much we love Michael Jackson. We like Michael Jackson so much. We let the first kid slide.
Well, but again, is that joking about the
another
rape?
Kid,
right?
Another
or society,
kid.
Or joking about the society? Like there's a difference there, right?
That's fair.
Exactly. But you got
I'd have to find the quotes from Dave Chappelle again, but there were a few of them that I was like, no, you're actually just laughing at rape at this point.
Lots of comedians, make fun. People who make fun of serious things that I really actually don't think are funny at all, and that really, it just shuts me down. I'll just turn it right the fuck off.
Well, there's
Bill Burr is like that. I find him like misogynistic and a big asshole.
I'm going to see him.
Yeah, it's like if you compare Bill Burr,
really
hate him.
You compare him to like
my husband listens to
Louis
his
C.K.
podcast all the time.
Louis C.K. is like edgy and raw, but in a very clever, in a clever way, right? Like it's,
and he's not. It's not at the expense of vulnerable people, right?
I really find that about him too, and I really like him, and I find him accessible. But apparently in the comedy world, he's a fucking giant asshole.
Yeah, he could be.
He's one of the worst.
That doesn't surprise me. He's like a diva. He's a ginger diva. That's okay.
It turns me off.
But I don't have to hang out with him. I just watching the show, man. But whatever.
I don't know.
Like probably the biggest asshole in comedy with his routine is Jeselnik. Like he comes across as the biggest, giant, most horrible
you didn't see
human
Last Comic
being
Standing
in the
because
world.
he hosted that, and he was a dick to every single contestant on that show.
And Russell Peters is also a dick.
Do you know who,
maybe that's just a
do you know who
thing.
who completely loves Jeselnik? Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Roseanne Barr loves him as well.
I'll have to check him out.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a commercial break.
Oh, is that what's going to happen?
Oh, really?
If you like what we're doing and want to help us keep the lights on, go become a patron at patreon.com/Brainstorm Podcast. You can hear the bonus half hour that we record every episode and get a shout out when you support the show. Become a patron for just $1 an episode at patreon.com/Brainstorm Podcast. Or you can support the show by ordering a t-shirt, mug, or other gear from our store at caffeepress.ca/Brainstorm Podcast Gear. If you can't afford to become a patron or buy gear, then why not give us a rating or write a review on iTunes or Stitcher? Every rating makes it easier for people to find us. Thanks for your support.
We are given one life, full of billions of small and large decisions. To be somebody, to change, to be kind, to give hope, to become a better person, and to leave a lasting impact on this planet. It is a decision to be made every single day while your heart is still beating. We've made our decision. Absence of Clothing, atheist and science-based apparel and merchandise, donating 50% of our profits to charity. Look good and feel good, without God. Check us out at absenceofclothing.com and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest for discount codes and other sweet swag.
Use the code BRAINSTORM at absenceofclothing.com and get 10% off.
Hi, my name's Callie.
And I'm Ari.
If you're like most of us, you're very concerned about the gay agenda's plans for world domination.
Are you tired of seeing glitter all over every damn thing?
Do you hate rainbows as much as any other red-blooded American?
Then we have the answer for all your baseless fears and unjustified paranoia.
Presented exclusively on Secular Media Network, the Gaytheist Manifesto is your source for news, commentary, discussion, and debate at the intersection of the atheist movement and the LGBT rights movement.
You can find us on Spreaker, iTunes, and at gaytheistmanifesto.secularmediagroup.com.
If you're not ready to get in line for your mandatory gay marriage and you're terrified of short-haired women in pantsuits, Come have a listen and get up to date on their plans. You'll be glad you did.
And we're back.
Back again.
I'm terrified of short-haired women in pantsuits.
I think I might be too.
Yeah. I better listen to their podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's important to keep up on the Gaytheist Manifesto.
Huh?
All right. Let's do a religious nuttery.
Cornerstone, this might be new to some of you. Scripture says that even our righteous deeds are as filthy rags to God. So even the good things that you do, even things like feeding the hungry and clothing the poor, and taking in widows and orphans, as nice as those things are, if not done from the place of obedience to and a relationship with God, are completely worthless and disgusting to God. If you're not daily walking in a place of relationship to God, then the news that we have to bring you is that you're on your way to hell right now.
Yeah, Gumby.
I'm on my way to hell.
All right, this is from the National Post.
Oh, it's legit then.
Yeah, Toronto police charge man Toronto police charge man for pretending to practice witchcraft after victim pays $101,000 to remove an evil spirit. So this is yeah, wow indeed.
Can they prove he didn't succeed?
I can't pronounce this guy's name.
Call him Bob.
I think you're a racist.
Yeah,
I might be. Morali Mathialu, a.k.a. Master Ragav, was charged with pretending to practice witchcraft. He normally advertises for psychic readings for about $20, but in this case, he was paid $101,000 to remove an evil spirit. The victim in question was told at the this astrological center that his daughter had an evil spirit, so he paid for an increasingly expensive series of rituals to get this evil spirit expunged. Mm-hmm. And when she didn't get better, he figured that this guy must be a fraud.
Wow.
Can you do this with any religion? You could just sue the religion, say, "Look, you said if I prayed to God, my daughter would get better.
Well,
not
isn't that
better."
The thing? That's what this article really brings up. The question. Right?
Yeah. Well, that was the thing that I found funny is I didn't realize that in Canada it is actually illegal to practice witchcraft.
It's under the Criminal Code of Canada.
Yeah.
Anyone who pretends to exercise or use any kind of witchcraft, sorcery, enchantment, or conjuration.
So to win, all this guy needs to do is profess a sincere belief that he was that he was practicing real religious beliefs, and that's it.
That's right.
As soon as you go for communion, the priest has to be arrested because he's spiritually converting the wine and the bread into the blood and
only if you're Catholic.
Cannibal.
As long as he's pretending, though, he can't believe it. He has to be pretending.
He has to consciously realize that it's bullshit.
And then that's illegal.
Does it say that pretending to be is illegal or practicing?
Pretending.
Yeah.
Pretending to practice witchcraft.
So all of your ideas to make money would get you.
No.
I want to be his lawyer. I only want to argue it this way. No, he really believed it. Problem solved.
Right.
He believed it, but it just didn't work.
Is it bad that I have so little sympathy for people who give money and they lose their money? I know it's bad, and the old people are calling the televangelists and giving all their money to, and I know it's bad and it's shitty. And John Oliver did that piece on it, and it was brilliant. But I just
was hilarious.
In terms of where I'm going to put my energy and worry into, that's low. I'm just if you're such a sucker, somebody else is going to part you from your money. If it's not a religious nut job, it's going to be some other person.
Right.
I just
can't even, and their money are soon parted.
Do you feel sorry for people that go and give money to homeopaths?
Here's who I feel sorry for. I feel sorry for people who are vulnerable and have their vulnerabilities preyed on, right? People who should know better, I don't really feel anything for them. But somebody whose child is sick and they see them going through the there was that case in Ontario a few years ago where I think she was 11 years old. She had a type of cancer and she was getting really sick from the chemo, and she had like a 75% chance of recovery with the chemo. But her mom pulls her out of it, takes her to the healing guy down in Florida, and the girl ends up dying eventually because obviously he wasn't giving her real treatment down in Florida. And that guy, I think, is the guy in Florida is the worst scum of the earth for preying on this parent's vulnerability in terms of not wanting to see her daughter suffer on the one hand from the treatment, but also of course wanting her to get better. So that's just the lowest of the low. And there that's got to be my biggest the thing I care about most or whatever.
Yeah.
But like just I don't know, but people who have like should know better, and like honestly, like I can't even. I have no caring whatsoever. So like it kind of runs the spectrum for me.
To some extent, I guess it depends on where you draw the line on whether somebody's vulnerable and being preyed upon, right?
Yeah.
Because even the people performing, if they actually honestly believe that what they're doing,
then
is
they're
real,
also victims.
They're
some
kind
extent.
of victimized in some ways too. It's like they grew up in a way that made them believe stupid things.
Yeah.
And I know some people like that. Yeah. So let's just pray this injury away. Oh yeah.
Except that's not how it works, right? Like when people are, because there's states down in the U.S. that you can opt not to take your kids to the hospital.
Yeah.
If you're praying.
Yeah, it's a parental.
Really?
Yeah. And a lot of kids have died in some places because of this.
No.
And they.
Oh, it's just God's will.
It's always news if they get prosecuted because it's part of their law that you're allowed to do that.
A lot of those states are also the states where you can't hold a public office without being known to be a Christian.
Yeah. How did the religious people not then go, therefore prayer doesn't work? Like when this happened, like I don't even understand like how that's not even
part of God's plan.
Sometimes the answer is no, Lisa.
Yeah, that's right. They've
From
all
God.
That's right.
Will you save my child? That it's no.
Sometimes it's no.
You know, and to get to prayer,
it's mysterious.
And yet
now they're in a better place.
And yet if it was yes every time, if prayer worked, right, and children were cured because you prayed for them, religious people would point to that as wonderful proof that there's God. Yeah. But the fact that God doesn't cure children is not proof that there is no God somehow.
No. I think that prayer itself is basically the disclaimer that I don't actually believe in God. Because if God actually has a plan and God's infallible and I'm praying for him to do something differently, it means I don't actually believe he's infallible.
I was thinking about this a little bit earlier, like so many anti-abortion people or anti-gay people are following religion. And it's like, well, if God is in charge of everything, well, then he gave all of this to us. Like, it's like all of this stuff is under God's control. So abortion is God's will. Or gay people is God's will.
See, but they have a foolproof thing. The devil.
No, there's also some caveats in there too, right?
Or you're being tested.
Yeah. You're being tested. Also, with homosexuality, is that God gave you the choice, but you're not supposed to act on it.
You have free will.
You have free will.
As long as you do what you're told.
But you're supposed to follow the rules.
You don't have to do what you're told. It just means you go to hell.
It just means you're super, super punished.
I think I've brought this up before, but isn't it weird, like how all these like super Christian religious people are like, oh, being gay is so tempting, but you have to resist. Like, are they all just like, oh, I'm so hot for all these men, but but you got to resist. Like, is that what they're admitting to?
Actually, half the time, yes.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like what you guys are just the most closeted humans I've ever met. Like, just.
They're all afraid that...
go to the parade, man. Just go to the parade.
How
be
that
free.
One comedian put it, they're all very afraid that cock is actually delicious.
Exactly.
And on that note, let's move on to a science story. We don't have a bumper for this. So.
No bumper.
Lisa, your turn.
That's a bumper.
This is their science bumper.
That was a good bumper.
I like that.
Thank you. I did it myself. You're welcome. Okay, so there's a new...
She blinded me with science. I just had to interrupt you.
That's good. That was, you weren't here last week, but that was our critique last week from our review on iTunes.
Yes, interrupting.
We interrupt each other too much. Oh, fuck, I got my knitting pattern instead of my science paper.
Interrupt each other.
Okay. So, in the journal, Science, yes. Journal of Science. There was a paper published recently. I don't even know when this was. Yes, recently, March 24th. Basically, it's a follow-up paper. A couple years ago, these three scientists, Tomasetti, Lee, and Wolgenstein, they did an analysis looking at the causes of cancer. And the long and short of it is that they find that most cancers, 2/3 of cancers approximately, can be attributed to randomness, basically. Random mutations in cells that end up having cancer, which the cells become cancerous, which basically means that they just grow uncontrollably. So rather than attributing the cause of cancer to environmental factors or life choices or genes, they found that actually 2/3 of cancer is actually related to just random mutations in cells.
Just spontaneous.
Yeah. To be fair, they did point, like they say, because normally we hear that something like 40% or whatever of cancers can be prevented. They say that their findings are not inconsistent with that. Because I guess the problem people have with this is say, okay, well, if 2/3 of cancer is random and it's not anything anyone did or any genes that anyone has, well then,
nothing you can do about it.
Right. Which is to an extent true. So what's with this 40% that you're supposed to be able to prevent 40%? Well, I think that the point that the authors make was that you have to have more than one of these mutations in order to get cancer that perpetrates sorry, that actually becomes like a cancerous tumor in your body. So it was interesting research. This study is a little bit different from the one they published a couple years ago because they looked at patients from around the world, whereas the one from a couple years ago only looked at Americans, and they also included breast and prostate cancer in this one, which is the two of the most common types of cancer. So also really interesting is this effect, like this randomness versus cause, basically, varied based on cancer type. So, for example, in lung cancer, randomness only accounts for something like 35% of the cases, whereas in prostate cancer, it's like virtually all of them. So, or 95% or whatever it is.
Well, I can't think of too many things that you could do that would specifically cause prostate cancer.
And it makes sense because like the biggest risk factor for prostate cancer is age. Yeah. For men, if you get old enough, you will get prostate cancer. It's definite. As long as you lived old enough, you will get it.
Every person alive will eventually get a cancer if they live long enough.
Yeah, but with prostate cancer in particular, you are guaranteed to get prostate cancer if you live long enough as a man. Right. Women hardly ever get prostate cancer. No. It's nice for us.
No high fives for prostate cancer.
Sweet. I love prostate cancer. No, I don't love prostate cancer, but we treat it all the time.
You're
it's
a
great.
Mean person.
I'm not. We love treating it. It's great. We just burn it away with radiation.
It's gone.
Yeah. And anyways.
Look like you were wielding like a soldering iron.
No, this is me wielding. No, this is me wielding our brachytherapy catheters, where we ram them into the prostate, and then we hook up our.
That.
We do that, yeah. You wouldn't like the transrectal ultrasound probe that we use either.
I don't like the word ram.
Anytime you use the word rectal in treatments, that's just
no, we have to ram it. Like they can't just like gently play. You got to get it in there. You got to
really dig in there, root around.
They do. They don't root it around, but they get it. How else are you going to get in there? It has to go in like 10 centimeters.
It's funny.
Guys.
Corey's turning 40, so
right into your prostate.
His next checkup, he's going to be getting told to go.
That's
getting
fine.
your DRE, your digital rectal exam.
Better start loosening it up.
That's fine. He's not ramming anything anywhere.
No, they don't ram with the DRE. They only ram with the catheter needles because you got to get it in there. It's fun.
Digital rectal exam.
A little bit of blood.
That's just the finger.
Just DRE.
What the word digital means.
No, you're supposed to get scoped every 2 years too.
Anyways, apparently this study was a little bit controversial.
Was it
why are you?
Well, really?
What?
If your family has a high risk of having rectal cancer, scope every 2 years.
Yeah, that's right. Or and I think at 50 you're supposed to get a scope every.
But if you don't have any, like often they'll do fit tests though. They don't necessarily immediately send you for colonoscopy.
Yeah, because they did to me.
But I think they're pushing for more and more for screening with colonoscopies for colorectal for real. Yeah,
because
actually that relates back to this paper. It relates back to the paper because. apparently there's been some criticism of this paper saying, well, why are you studying this? This is, I don't know, they don't like the results, so they shouldn't report on them or something. That's what people say.
Of course.
Because, now you're telling people that there's nothing they can do, you're taking away the hope. But what these researchers point out is that, well, first of all, in a way, you're taking away the blame, because some cancer patients either feel guilty for giving themselves cancer, or like are made to feel that way by other people. You've brought this on yourself, sort of thing. By whatever. A dirty word. Yeah. But also, they point to the importance of screening programs. So, generally speaking, like, we are not going to be able to end the cancer epidemic by treating the disease once it's already bad. Like, that's generally true of all diseases. We can only really make progress in diseases if we deal with it before it becomes bad, early stages, or preventing it from happening at all.
Right.
So yes, there is a bit of prevention that we can do. We know that healthy diet, exercise, etc., don't smoke, blah blah blah, are all good ways to prevent cancer from developing. But they argue in this paper, since so much of it is random and it's going to be happening for sure in some people, we need to improve our screening programs.
Right.
So that's what they argue.
Screening, early prevention.
Exactly. Catching this stuff early, and then you can kind of nip it in the bud in some cases, depending on the disease type. But yeah. No,
that's actually, I don't mind that result one bit. I like
you know
that.
what? It doesn't matter if you like it or not, because it's science, bitches. It is true or it's not, right? It doesn't matter if you like it.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how it works.
Yep.
That is not.
That is how it works now, though.
Yeah, that's right.
That's just like your
opinion. Post-truth world.
No. We don't live in a. Like I said, I listened to an interview recently with Yuval Harari, and he had the most awesome quote, which is that because he was being asked, "Is this fake news stuff? Is it really new?" And he said, "Look, something to the effect of." The Bible has been around for thousands of years, and that is fake news that is yet to be commonly known to be untrue. So, I mean, hey, like, fake news has been around forever. So,
right. I'm totally gonna, whenever somebody starts talking about Jesus, or if the Jehovah's Witnesses come around, I'm gonna answer them and be like, "Fake news, totally fake, not real." Reddit, terrible paper,
sad,
it's rigged,
sad.
Terrible.
Okay, so we're gonna skip over your story. Because
you suck.
You suck. No. And we're going to go to Angela's new story.
We're going to talk about sucking.
Because she wants to talk about sucking.
We're all really
This is the
excited
new
about the
3
story.
cheers section of the podcast.
Right here.
I already...
Oh, I meant to hit that one.
I already did that, but...
Did you?
Yes.
Oh.
Maybe you should have your headphones
If you didn't
on.
have your headphones off, you'd know that.
Everybody, Dustin's ruining the show.
Wrecking the show. Trying to get kicked off. Trying since the first episode.
Yeah. All right, Angela, what do you got?
So, according to Men's Health Mag website,
this is all real.
Last November, a 27-year-old Italian model named Paolo Solino made a bit of a risky gamble. She promised everyone who voted no in Italy's Brexit-like referendum a blowjob. So, that's a tall order. There's a lot of Italian dudes that could potentially have voted no. So then she predicted the majority of the electorate would vote yes. But the opposite thing happened. And she found herself on the hook for having oral sex with 19 million people.
So legally. Blowjobs.
So she bravely embarked on a multi-date Italian pumpa tour. That's pump in Italian. To service as many strangers as she can. She said she's a woman of her word. So, as you know, 19 million people is a lot of people. It's almost an unfathomable amount.
It is unfathomable.
It is a giant number of people.
If she sleeps 6 hours a day, which is less than enough, I mean, you're recommended at least 8.
Well, she's going to be tired.
Yeah. She doesn't have the time, though.
It just doesn't add up, eh?
No.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
She has
I kind of figured as much when the number was 19 million, but
yeah, she has 18 hours a day to give as many blowjobs as she can. That's 1,080 minutes every day, all reserved for oral sex.
So how many minutes does the average man take?
Well, there's a thing. There's nowhere did it say that they get to finish.
3 minutes?
I think that's what they're assuming
3
in
minutes
this one.
to each blowjob. She can
So-
realistically service 360 people a day.
So it would still take forever.
And you'd still
Like
have
160
your
years, I think.
oral
Yeah.
health would be a problem too.
Yeah,
Like, this is
145 years it would take. if she did every single one.
This is like no eating, no.
Now, how old is she now?
She's 27.
So I think in 20 years that everybody will lose interest.
I think she's only got to worry about this for a few more months. Really,
she's already done she's already done 400.
What's the screening process? Like, what if I walk up and go, "Oh yeah, I totally
voted no."
I voted
Everyone's lining up in an orderly fashion outside of the room, and yeah, she says she feels fine. Her jaw is a little sore.
Jesus Christ.
Fair enough.
So they actually consulted a doctor, and he's an oral surgeon.
Right.
He's a jaw pain dentist from the
And
Ottawa
he's worried
TMJ
about her
clinic.
nerve damage or something.
Yeah, he said, my dental school did not teach me about the effects of repetitive oral sex on the jaw, so my answer here is purely theoretical.
Now, does she have an agent or somebody that's like checking names off with IDs? Is somebody going to walk through?
Yeah, just go
and then
back
just
to
go
the back of the circle.
But he indicates that he's surprised that she's lasted this long. If she was his patient, he would advise her to give her mouth a break. But she doesn't show any signs of stopping.
She's earned a break.
She's a trooper.
That's remarkable.
And to be fair, she doesn't have to keep going.
She doesn't have to keep going.
Chooses to stop, she may choose.
Hey, a promise is a promise. Come on.
But you know what?
Still not a legal contract.
She's not the only one to make those kind of
contract.
promises. It happened during the American election too.
That's right.
People do. Yeah.
Madonna was willing to. This is probably the real reason why.
This is why Trump won.
At the very least, this is probably why Hillary Clinton lost, because apparently Madonna offered to give blowjobs if you voted for Hillary. Mia Khalifa was the opposite. She'd give you blowjobs if you voted for Trump. That's probably why he fucking won.
Yeah, this is why Trump won.
Oh, damn it.
Are blowjobs deciding elections now? This is
it seems to be.
It's worth looking into.
They've ended presidencies.
Or at least tarnished them.
I guess so.
Oh, jeez.
There's actually, somebody wrote a novel called Snuff. Chuck Palahniuk wrote a book called Snuff, and it's basically about
I should read that.
a has-been porn star who was like, all right, I'm going to fuck as many dudes as I can, and yeah, it's a really good book.
Man, he's such a good writer.
So
I can bring it
is this chick
next
from,
time, Dave.
Should.
Is she maybe using that to get famous?
No, she's already famous.
She's already a model. She's breathtaking.
But now she's
gorgeous.
more famous.
So now she's more famous.
She's
I never heard of her before.
beautiful.
That's true. How
many followers does she have?
I don't know.
She's Instagram famous.
She's got nice eyes and good cheekbones, and she's got a
live
really
streaming
nice
this?
rack.
I find
She's got a good rack.
my reaction to this was a combination of like, what the fuck,
And whatever.
and very much like, oh, right. Well, I mean, if she wants to do this, then fine. That's her call. It's her life.
It is her choice.
She's consenting to this.
I would never offer that.
I think what it really shows, I think, is how more open sexually people are in Europe,
right?
Because this isn't the first time like weird shit like that has happened in Italy. I mean, they've had an Italian porn star was running for higher government,
right?
She was also during the first. I remember reading this story and went, "What the fuck." But she, I can't remember her name at all. But
she didn't
offered
give enough blowjobs.
Yeah, apparently no. She actually offered during the first Iraq War to go and bang Saddam Hussein to put him in a better mood to end the war.
Nice.
Sounds like one of his romance novels.
That might have been what inspired it.
Yeah. Mustache ride. Yeah.
Well, you know what? You feel really happy and stuff afterwards and pillow talk. Maybe
If
you'll
you
be
do
like,
it
yeah, if you do it right.
Unfortunately,
agree to
this person
anything.
doesn't have time for pillow talk
No?
or anything.
No. It's like-
No,
she's
no nonsense.
she's busy.
Does she gargle? Like, does she?
You probably
Gargle,
want
spit, or swallow.
You probably don't want to actually think of the details.
Would get really messy.
Yeah.
And I mean, she'd have her share of protein. That girl that drinks Come smoothies.
Yeah.
Actually, her sodium level will be really high. No, I'm serious.
It would. It would.
You know, you're probably right. Yeah.
There's a lot of salt.
This topic is making me thirsty.
I feel compelled to drink as well.
Well, and which definition of thirsty?
Oh, yeah.
That's fair. That's
Modern word usage.
Yeah.
Fair. That's fair.
She might be the first person in history. She keeps going because there is a very small chance of a rivulet running down that she might become the first person in history to get pregnant from blowjobs.
Nah.
No. Good try, though.
Yeah.
All right, let's move
Critical
on.
brain. Okay, that was fun. Thanks for indulging me.
It was funny.
No, I appreciate the article. Like I went, what the fuck is this?
But that's a great article.
That's what we do.
That. I thought we need to talk about those things, though.
There's definitely that part of where you kind of go, what the fuck? And then the other part is like,
whatever.
Good on you. Good on you.
Yeah, good
Get
on
her
you.
done.
Promise is made. Promise is kept.
Yeah.
Or at least attempted.
All right.
Reach for the stars.
Now, is she going for a Guinness?
I don't know. What is the world record?
I don't know.
I don't know if they keep track of that.
I'm guessing it's not in the book there, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Hours of uninterrupted copulation is in the book, so why not? I'm sure it is.
That.
I'll let you know.
You go ahead and
Okay.
get
on that.
I'm gonna go into our listener feedback section of the episode.
All right, let's
That's a
do
good
it.
idea.
Good for you.
We have no change in our patrons this week. But I did do some work on our exclusive content for $5 and up patrons. So if you want to support the show, then check out the website and click on one of the links and go to patreon.com/brainstormpodcast. No new iTunes reviews this week, but hopefully soon, because I downloaded iTunes and I'm going to go review all my favorite podcasts, and maybe some of them will in return review our show.
Yes.
So we got an email from William Breen. He said, I left you a review on iTunes, mostly positive, which it was. It was constructive criticism.
Thank
we
you,
appreciate
Mr.
it.
Breen.
And I must say that since my last communique, the show is improving. I have to congratulate Lisa for successfully adding "oh my fuck" to the skeptical lexicon.
I added that?
Yeah.
I'm so proud.
Nice.
The crew is really getting into a good groove, so keep it up. So thanks, William. We really appreciate that. That's even more positive than the iTunes review that he gave.
Sweet. Yes.
If you want to send us comments, praise, or accolades, then send us an email at mail@brainstormblog.net. Appearances. The episode of Utah Outcasts that I was on was out like right away, so it's been out for about a week and a half. And we're still figuring out a schedule so that we can be on the Secular Barbershop as a crew.
Sweet.
Plug your stuff. Anybody got stuff?
Not yet.
I'm going to judge the National Science Fair in a month.
Is that right?
That's right, I am.
Sweet.
Nice.
Is it in Toronto?
It's fucking in Regina. That's right, people. And I even volunteered to be one of the French judges, so I'll judge in French.
Nice.
C'est vrai.
We do science in Regina?
We have the National Science Fair here
that a
this year.
thing
We
we do
actually do. Everyone should go and check it out.
That means our
Yeah.
population
The best.
for a week is going to grow by 50.
Those people are going to be so
it's the
fucking
best
smart.
Kids,
Yep.
like teenagers and youth in the country. We coming together in May here in this lovely, wonderful city that is so much better than Toronto. And
Lies. Regina fucking sucks.
Fake news.
I said better than Toronto. And
Not
it's
better
gonna be
than
great.
everywhere.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, no, that's
Good
awesome.
for you. Good for you.
That is awesome. Anybody else?
Now, do they have scouts at these things, like for universities?
Oh.
I might
it doesn't work like that.
It's not like
it's not like a science combine.
You get
not
good
science
grades and you
scouts?
go into
Science
science. So
combine,
that's about how it goes.
There's no like, wow, this person's really talented. We better sign them to an early contract.
No. That might happen in like grad school, maybe, but mostly it's just about money, right? Like you get a scholarship because of your grades, or you get it's mostly it's just,
there should be a science combine.
I think that'd be cool.
Well, they do exist actually for inventors.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
I have something to plug. I can, well, nothing crazy, but
nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy.
Nothing like blowjobs.
Nothing's close. No.
Dave's gonna give blowjobs to everybody.
Yes, starting tonight. No,
no precursor, just everybody.
Everyone who's alive. No. No, anyway. No, so the Yorkton Film Festival nominations came out in between these two podcasts.
Nice.
And 5 of the films I worked on last year are in it.
Holy shit.
And that's a big festival, so I'm pretty pumped.
That's
Dave,
really
that's
awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what does that mean for you if some of these win?
It adds to my resume, definitely.
Name recognition.
Brilliant.
Yeah, like, I mean, even the fact that, like, the Best of Saskatchewan category, 3 of the 5 films I did the audio for.
Wow.
So
You're the best.
So it's kind of like like I have a 3 in 5 chance of being a part of that award.
So does
That's
that mean
awesome.
you could get good work in Hollywood North?
Well, you know what? There is definitely a growing amount of work that I'm doing in that area, like getting paid higher to do composing and stuff like that. Like
You're
stuff
trying to
I
get more
really
money out of Corey? Is that what you're doing?
So no. But
that's cool.
So,
whatever.
End of May, last weekend of May is the festival. It's kind of it's the biggest one in Saskatchewan, and it's one of the there's like a stop in every province for the film circuit.
Okay,
and that's like the Saskatchewan stop. So it'll be a lot of fun.
I have a question that I've been meaning to ask you for like 6 months, and I keep forgetting to, and now I'm going to ask it because I remember. On 13th Ave, that house that had the "Don't Cut the Grass."
Yeah.
What movie was that used in? What was
I
that
don't
for?
think it was. I think that was just a joke.
It's still there.
Yeah, I think that was just a joke.
It's been there for several years. I just drove by there not that long ago.
That was just a
It's
joke,
still
so they didn't have to cut their lawn.
Okay.
I think that was the whole point of that. Anyway,
Because it was completely gated off and everything too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It
it's like,
was.
don't cut the grass. Anyway, that's it.
That's so
That's
cool.
awesome. No, actually, that's really cool. We have members of our crew that are doing things.
I wanna see if I can-
Thing doers.
I should see if I could try and do voice work.
You should do things.
You could apply.
Yeah, we
for,
should all do
talent
things.
agency. Yeah.
Some of
Maybe
us
I
are less talented than others, but
Corey, you seem to be doing lots of things lately.
Corey, you're doing all the things.
I do things, but that's a matter of drive, not talent.
And free time.
Isn't that usually the way it works though? Drive.
Yes.
And drive usually overpowers talent and then becomes success.
Right. Well,
I've been
we'll
delayed-
see.
I've been delayed in starting my new podcast, but that will be coming. So.
Yeah, I've done about a dozen interviews in the last week and a half.
Oh, and something I want to start putting together is when I've been cooking my lunches for work. So I do a week's worth of cooking for work, and I cook like 3 different things, and I bring it all to work, and I'll do like a brandied wild mushroom pork tenderloin because that's the kind of shit I eat at work.
That's fancy. That's super fancy.
No, it's not.
fancy.
It's not fancy. It's just different ingredients. Cooking stuff like that isn't any harder than cooking regular food. But I think I'm going to do a little bit of like cooking for idiots as a YouTube channel. Like, this is how fucking easy this is. And I'm going to incorporate something in that. If I can find enough things in the cooking world that actually show that, there's a lot of woo in food.
Yep.
One that Jen discovered, and she it blew her noodle, was that brown sugar isn't better for you than white sugar. It's worse for you because it's white sugar coated in molasses.
Right.
That's all it
Sugar
is.
coated in sugar.
Yeah.
It's just extra sugar.
So
I don't know that I would say it's worse for
fucking-
you, but I don't know that it's.
Well, if you're using the same
Yeah.
amount, no.
But gram per gram, it's got to be the same.
Right, but the flavor difference, people use more of it.
Yeah, and you compress it. Like for volume wise, I'm sure you get more calories per cup. or
And
whatever
there's
if
probably
you
stuff
compress
in
it.
molasses that's more
I don't know. Maybe it's more
Bad for you.
carcinogenic because it's
Yeah.
like browned slightly. I don't know. That would be very,
Well, it's
very,
not
very,
caramelized.
very, 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 very slight effects. But anyways,
Anyway, so
5?
stuff like that.
Okay, we're down to 5. So you're doing a cool cooking thing, but you're going to change the name because otherwise people won't watch it.
No, well, I don't give a shit if people watch my stuff. I've been doing this show for over 3 years.
People like this show.
Like 20 people.
No, like a couple, 300 people like this show.
That's
I just assumed it was you downloading it over and over again.
No,
like a loop.
I maybe 4 or 5 times.
did you know that Sam Harris gets 1 million downloads every podcast?
I know.
A fucking million.
Fuck Sam Harris.
1 million.
Sorry, I love Sam Harris. He's amazing. I'm just jealous.
I don't love Sam Harris. I don't hate Sam Harris, but 1 million downloads is fucking
It's impressive.
insane.
There's a lot of things about Sam Harris I don't like, but he's, for the most part, a positive influence on the community.
So
I've
yeah,
said that.
I've been doing a ton of interviews for my new project. I think it's going quite well, and I hope to have a product out by the end of April.
Sweet.
So, in closing, we will start our outro music.
Peace out, everybody.
Thanks for listening.
That's the end of the episode.
Bunch of talking
Thanks
by Cornell.
for listening.
Don't forget to
Check
get
our
an
show
audiobook.
notes
Audiobooks.
on our website, brainstormblog.net. I'm very behind. I will get caught up eventually. Yes.
No, he won't. No.
Extra days, all these extra days off he's talking about.
You can get tons of patron exclusive content by becoming a patron. We do bonus content after every show. I do personal thoughts and content in between every live
show.
episodes.
Every single show.
And I've recently put together some exclusive $5 content for patrons. You can join our patrons: Will, Lisa, Rob, Aaron, Nathan, Daryl, Marissa, Brother Brewer, Janet, Stephanie, and the newly renamed Positively Skeptical Podcast by becoming a patron at patreon.com/brainstormpodcast.
I'm still a patron.
Yes, you are still a patron.
You didn't say my name.
I said Positively Skeptical.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that's me.
That's you.
God damn it.
Make sure to join us every second week.
You only got 3 minutes, man. Hurry
When
up.
we broadcast live on Spreaker.com/user/brainstorm podcast. Our next guest is Justin Bender from the band Third Ion, and he will be joining us in studio.
Sweet.
So that's one less seat for a normal crew member, but I think we can make that
Normal.
sacrifice for a guest. You can find out more information about Third Ion at thirdion.com.
I'm not invited next time.
Thanks very much to Natalie and Dan from the Science Enthusiast Podcast for joining us tonight. You can find their stuff at scienceenthusiastpodcast.com. Thanks, Dave, for our intro music. Thanks to Alex Capper-Murdoch for doing the voiceover for the intro and for some of our ads. And thanks to Jason Camo for our outro music. You can find his stuff at aloststateofmind.com. Make sure to check out his newest albums, Some Version of the Meaning of Life. All music played is either with permission or under the SOCAN license to play. For more information on
You only
SOCAN,
got 2 minutes, Corey.
check out the music license info on our website, brainstormblog.net. You can get cool Brainstorm gear at cafepress.ca/brainstormpodcastgear. Thanks again for listening, and remember, the truth matters.
You know, if this stuff was canned, you wouldn't have to worry about me interrupting.
We just wanted to say thanks to everyone who listens to us, shares the show, gives us a rating on iTunes or Stitcher, or supports us through Patreon and Gumroad. We don't have a lot of interaction sometimes with our listeners, but what we have had proves that we attract some of the best people around. Smart, kind, and cool. An audience truly worthy of the titles hardcore and woo-free. Thanks for helping us make the world a smarter place. This is an opinion-based podcast. Each person on the podcast is responsible for their own opinions, and those opinions don't necessarily reflect the views of the rest of the panel. Any guests or anyone associated with the people on the podcast, such as spouses, partners, children, other family members, friends, or employers. No one person speaks for the podcast with the possible exception of Corey, and he doesn't speak for anyone else on the show. The Brainstorm podcast does not represent the views of our sponsors.